In this video, we're going to talk about hamsters. Now, when you think of a hamster, what comes to mind? Probably a cute little pet running on a wheel, right? Well, that's only a tiny, tiny part of their story. So today, we're going to go way beyond the pet cage. We're going to dive into the surprising and honestly pretty tough secret life of wild hamsters. Okay, so to really get a grip on their wild side, let's start with the basics. What is a hamster anyway? Alright, first things first, hamsters are mammals, and they belong to the huge rodent family. They're known for their stout, kind of stocky bodies, but their most famous feature? Of course, it's those massive cheek pouches. And I mean massive. They can stretch all the way back to their shoulders. They use them to haul food back to their homes. And get this, while you might only know a few types from the pet store, the hamster world is way bigger than you probably think. There are more than 20 different species out there in the wild. That means the 5 or so that we've domesticated, they're really just the tip of the iceberg. So with all that diversity, you've got to wonder, where in the world do they all live? Let's take a look at their natural stomping grounds. They're spread across a huge territory, what scientists call the Palearctic range. Basically, that's Europe, the Middle East, and all the way across Central and East Asia. They just love dry, open spaces like deserts and dunes. But you know what? They've also gotten surprisingly good at living on farmland, too. But here's the sad part. Their world is shrinking. A lot of wild species are now critically endangered. I mean, just look at France. The wild hamster population there has dropped by a shocking 94%. And it's mostly because their homes are disappearing due to farming and cities getting bigger. Living in such a tough world might explain their whole life strategy. See, hamster lives are short, but they are unbelievably good at making more hamsters. Yeah, out in the wild, your average hamster is only around for about 2 or 3 years. It's a super short life, for sure, but they pack a lot into it, mainly because of how fast they can reproduce. And I'm not kidding. While a normal litter is maybe 6 or 7 pups, a female can have up to, wait for it, 24 pups in a single litter. Can you even imagine? And here's the really wild part. A young hamster can be ready to start its own family in as little as 43 days. That's just insane. This super fast maturity means their populations can just explode when the conditions are good. Okay, so let's switch gears and talk about how they live, because, spoiler alert, it's not in big, happy families. This is pretty shocking, right? Most hamsters are total loners. No friends, no leaders, no groups whatsoever. So why? What's the point of living your whole life all by yourself? Oh, believe it or not, the clue is hiding right in their name. The word hamster actually comes from a German word, Hamstern, which literally means to hoard. Yep, their whole identity is basically built around that one single instinct. Living alone is all about survival. Think about it. In those dry deserts and plains where they come from, food and water are hard to find. So to a hamster, another hamster isn't a potential friend, it's competition. The only time they even put up with each other is to mate, and as soon as that's done, they're out of there. So they spend pretty much their entire lonely lives underground in these amazing complex burrows. They're like little furry architects, digging tunnels that can go 2 meters deep. And these aren't just simple holes in the ground. Oh no, they're full-on houses, with a main room for sleeping, a separate pantry to store all that hoarded food, and some even have a dedicated bathroom. Pretty neat, huh? Of course, living alone in a burrow is also about staying safe. So where do hamsters fit into the bigger picture? You know, the food web. First up, what do they eat? Well, they're omnivores, which just means they're not picky. They eat a bit of everything. Mostly it's grains, seeds, and roots, but they'll absolutely snack on an insect if they see one, and sometimes even tiny frogs or lizards if they're lucky. But, you know, being small and tasty means you're on the menu for a lot of other animals. Their biggest enemies are birds like owls and kites, snakes, and predators like foxes and stoats. And of course, you have to add humans to that list, because of farming, trapping, and just destroying their homes. Alright, so now that we've seen how they live and survive, let's finish up with some really cool, surprising facts that prove just how special these little guys are. Fact number 1. You know the Syrian hamster, the most common pet one? Well, every single one of them in the entire world is a descendant of one female and her babies that were found in Syria way back in 1930. Fact number 2 is just adorable. In Arabic, their nickname translates to Mr. Saddlebags. How perfect is that? It's all because of those giant cheek pouches they stuff with food. Number 3 is a weird one. In Austria, wild hamsters have been spotted doing something odd. They sneak into graveyards to steal and eat the wax from candles. The thinking is it's a great source of fat to help them get through the cold winters. And for our last fact, when hamster babies are born, they're completely blind and totally helpless. They can't even open their eyes for about 2 whole weeks, so they rely completely on their mom to keep them safe in that underground burrow. Alright, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.